Cool. So yeah, I'm working on a project which is called Ampy. We are currently on Polygon and would love to launch on Saga when the mainnet is available. So basically, what we are doing is creating new experience for music listeners. One of the big problem in music right now is fans are fungible. What does it mean? It means that people that listen one time on a song on Spotify are worth the same as people that listen uh, 10 hours, buy some CDs, buy some concert tickets, and it's a problem because fans are not rewarded correctly. What we are doing with MP is creating a way for those people to be rewarded with a tracking that is made on physical, on Spotify, and on concerts, being able to get a ranking and some reward based on their music listening. What we are creating is being able for labels and for artists to create different tiers of albums and of fans to get different reward. So, for example, there could be a tier one where people are able to gain, I don't know, some reduction or some promotional code about an album. There is another reward that can enable people to get, I don't know, a free album, for example. And we are creating this scope and this toolkit for labels to deploy to their artists really easily and using NFT as a tool and not only as an end. So our project launched our first artist. It's a big artist here in France. It's an artist called Jane. It's a Grammy-nominated artist, pretty big, and we launched their pre-sale. We got great feedback. One of our main issue, and I will say concern, is onboarding people from Web 2. Most our project is based on this, and we got some good conversion rate. We got 85% of Web 2 users that created a wallet and an account with our platform. So we are really grateful about this because it's some people that really don't know crypto. They are not like usual buyer. They don't even know what a wallet is or what Web3 is. So it's really great about this. There is different incentive. I don't know if I can be able to share a video. Maybe I will after that. But there is different type of incentive. Actually, most of the users are able to get a dedicated video, and yeah. So we are building it for the last few months. And more widely, we are really interested by what's possible in the music ecosystem. I would love to chat about it. There is a lot of different projects that are building, some with a lot of different verticals. Some are more based on royalties, being able to share royalties as an NFT. Some are more into music creation, and there is a lot of different projects on this space, and we'd love to share more about what's being built more widely in this space.
No, that's really great. One thing, and if you guys have questions as well, raise your hand. But I think one thing is interesting, and I'm curious how you're handling it. Is obviously there's so much Web 2 business that's out there, and if you're building NFTs for the artist, and you have Web 2 users that don't understand wallets, how are you overcoming and how are you transacting to allow that fan to be able to actually hold on to the NFT? How does that onboarding process work?
Mm. Yeah, that's an important question. Right now, we are beginning with this onboarding, but our view is making the onboarding smooth and progressive. So we are using account abstraction. So being able to create wallets that are linked to another wallet and being able to set up different parameters. Our view is people will onboard step by step. Like every technology, we need to show them the benefits. So the benefits is being able to interact more deeply with the artist and joining a community. And after that, we are creating some incentive to onboard on a real wallet. When I say real wallet, I mean EOA, for example, a MetaMask wallet or Trust wallet or whatever. But it's a step-by-step process. So we start with AA wallet that are, I will say, not really trash wallets, but wallets that are really created for MP and for holding one or a few NFT. And after that, they are able to transfer it on a real wallet with a seed phrase and being able to interact more widely with the blockchain, with OpenSea, with NFT platforms, and DeFi platform is they want to.
No, it's really cool. Do either one of you have questions at this point?
Are you guys working on like ticketing, like working with ticketing systems as well? Like, if I listen to one artist and say like their concerts always get sold out within like 30 seconds, can I like is there any? I mean, it's tough because of course then you have to like sort of work against Ticketmaster and a lot of the big ticketing systems. But like, is there any workaround like working with them or like working around them to like allow for like selling services of like concerts and tickets for like music artists, so we can like fans can like actually have more of a chance to like get tickets rather than competing with bots, like whitelisting a ticket purchase for an event if you're listening to them so much.
Um, yeah, there is some projects that are working into the ticketing business. We are not currently doing it because, as you said, there is Ticketmaster that has like I think 80% of the market, which is really big and got a lot of partnership with big artists. So it's a complicated ecosystem. There is some project like Yellow Earth, I think, that are doing this. For our projects, we would love to, in a few years, probably integrate QR code that are able to join, for example, an event using an NFT, and there are already projects that are doing this. I don't know for consensus, but there was some real life events that allowed people to scan directly an NFT on their phone, for example. So that's something that can be done. And what we would like to do for this is, for example, being able to create access for example, pop-up store or release party. It's something that can be done, but for concert, I think it's pretty complicated, and there needs to be like an inventory on the back for the concert map, and I think it's pretty complicated to integrate if you don't have the right business development and people on this concert. This concert. Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
No. Super cool. Yeah. I'd love to see that integration in the future. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, thank you. Yeah, so you talked about how the fans are non-fungible in the sense that there's, you can have a super fan or a casual fan, and it sounds like each of the fans will have something like an NFT. What do you attribute to the NFT to distinguish, a super fan from a casual fan? Is it the number of listens, the concerts they go to, the merch that they purchased? How do you distinguish those two?
Mm. Yes, there is different key points that are creating some value on this. So at the beginning, our first integration are on physical CD, physical album. So people are able to scan a QR code on an album and claim the digital version of this album. We are also integrating Spotify and Apple Music, being able to scan the API and being able to see which are the biggest fans and ranking them based on their consumption. And we are also integrating, for example, a Shopify store, people that buy online and getting like a reward email where they can claim their NFT. And after that, there is a ranking that is based on different album and the the objective the label and the artist. So we can create, for example, 2, 3, or 4 categories and ranking different action based on the needs of the label. So for example, we can reward more Spotify listeners, or we can reward more physical album, and we can also create some quests around it, some gamification. For example, people that are sharing the album on social media could get some points, and really getting the full scope of the album consumption and the fan usage of this album.
I see. That's very cool. So as a fan, it sounds like I will probably own multiple NFTs for these different kind of interactions that I've had. So whether that's Spotify or Shopify or
We will create one NFT per album. So it's something that we are doing currently off chain. This discount, this point reward, but something we would like to put on chain when there is like layer 3 or blockchain that are more scalable. But yeah, there is like this NFT, and there is like this token that is connected with the NFT that are counting, for example, on the metadata or as an ERC20.
I see. So how's the experience been for the musicians? You said that you currently have one artist. Have they felt like the engagement is better? Do they have lots of creative ideas? What is it like for them so far?
Mm. I won't say they got more engagement yet because it's still a small launch.
Sure.
We launch only on physical album yet, but they participated on social media, on Instagram, and they got a lot of fans asking what NFT did they got. Like not NFT, digital collectible, because it's something that we are using as a term. But yeah, they got really good engagement on this. People were really interested by this experience that have never been seen on the music. It's also a cool experience because people are able to get something, I would say, tangible instantly. When sometimes they need to wait for an album release. This time we released it like 1 month before the album, when people were pre-ordering the album, and they were able to really get a first view of the album. And yeah, there was great feedback on this, and we plan to work on the engagement parts, being able, for example, to share on social media more easily, to create some TikToks around the album, and all this kind of stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, so thank you very much, by the way. What other components of user experience are you focused on? You mentioned in terms of onboarding, account abstraction, like what other components are you focused on that are challenging?
Yeah, I would say onboarding is the most important part. We are also like paying for the user gas, so there is the scaling part that are really important. Um, and yeah, I would say that's pretty much everything based on the blockchain. We are pretty light on blockchain integration. We just have like NFT smart contract and this account abstraction layer. One of our most important case is being able to see labels, to explain what the project will be able to do for this artist. So our first artist was with Sony Music, and we plan to talk about it with new labels and onboarding them on NFT. They are pretty interested by the whole music Web3 ecosystem. They are trying some new stuff, for example, on royalties or on artist community creation, but they don't really have like a product market fit for this, and we are trying to make it more easy to integrate for them.
All Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you think? What do you think you could do differently, or maybe you haven't thought of yet, that could really accelerate the adoption? What would be that magic lever that would just really accelerate the adoption?
Uh, Generally, for our project, there is this free NFT that is really important for us. We want to make NFT free and monetizing using secondary markets. So I think it will be something that will take times. We can launch adoption instantly. We would like to get an artist that is more into NFTs, that got a community that is really interested by this, and the development could be really faster. And more widely on the ecosystem, personally, I'm really interested by music financialization. More specifically, like there was a lot of fund that raised, for example, some money to buy album rights. And I think there is a lot of possibility next to DeFi. For example, getting a stable coin that is linked to music royalties, because it's something that is really like easy to get. There's like 5 or 6% APY, and that's something that could really get a market and allow some decentralization for stablecoin. And yeah, I'm so interested by digital labels. There is Warner that launched a digital label to sign people on Web3 and more widely on like I think AI project also. I think it's a cool experimentation, and I would love to see like DAO or labels that are doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned AI, so I mean I think that's on everybody's mind too. I mean, with the Drake song, the Jay Z
Yeah.
song that recently just dropped, like, how are you thinking would be a good way? Because I mean, we don't know what the landscape. I mean, we can all kind of conceptualize right on the changes that are going to take place, and some will probably be good, some probably not so good. But how do you think really Web3 can play a role in this? Kind of what you're doing, and with AI being able to generate beats, tunes, and I mean, the entire song.
Mm. Yeah, no, honestly, I didn't really have a clear viewpoint on this yet. It's a pretty new ecosystem. I saw there was a marketplace that launched that enabled people to sell and to listen to AI songs. And I think it's something that works on Arweave and decentralized like application. So there is a huge fit on this, and we will see if there is like label takedown for this. And more widely, I'm interested by like creativity of songs that are enabled for Web3. For example, being able to create remix and being able to share revenue instantly on remix. We can think, for example, an artist that published a song, someone that remixed this song, so he gets like 5% of the royalties on this and give the rest to the people that gave the first song, and we can get this um, like infinitely because people are able to get the royalties on chain, and it's something that can be changed over time. So that's something that could be interesting. And in terms of AI, I think the next few weeks will be really interesting. We saw like this Drake remix, and I think it's something that will go a lot faster, and we will see labels' reaction. That will be really interesting to see what they are doing for this.
Any other questions? So what? No, thank you for that, because I mean that's really insightful. I mean it's a lot that's changed in a couple of weeks.
Hmm.
So kind of what you're thinking then overall, there could be a marketplace potentially for all of these, and then maybe somehow tying all these whether it's just sounds or what have you, tying these things back together, and then you could possibly mint that as well, right? Almost minting the rights to maybe the whatever the tunes, the beats, whatever they're creating. Could those be minted NFTs and then maybe take those NFTs and create a collection of those, and that ends up becoming a song where it's can be royaltized out, whether it's the song in its entirety or components of the song.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. There is these 10 parts that allow people like to decompose a song and being able to sell part of this. It's something that is currently being done. There is not like a work in progress. There is a work in progress, sorry for this. So yeah, that's something that could be created. Um, Honestly, we'll see in 1 or 2 years. But yeah, it's something that is really interesting with Web3 is getting this remix part that makes things simpler because there is no need to create like uh, contract based on the country. There is this the rights that are able to be available everywhere, and it simplifies a lot of things, especially on music, which is something that relies a lot of contracts, a lot of like label centralization for this. So could unlock a lot of use case.
No, it's really, yeah. I mean, it's a lot that we have to think about. Um, so speaking of that, things that we have to think about on you and your project and your journey, kind of what are you seeing your next major steps that you're gonna basically execute on?
Yeah, so our next step is getting the second artist. So we will soon get the artist probably on a new genre. So we will see different use case and probably different public feedback on this launch. We are also preparing our seed raise, and yeah, we are currently also developing more on the account abstraction part, being able to push more thing on chain, and in the next 6 or like 1 year, we would like to find a new chain to deploy and to get better uh, possibilities and customizability for our projects.
No, very cool. I mean, that's great. Any other questions? No. Well, listen, Leo, is there anything else you'd like to add? If not, we can close this session now.
No, no, I don't think so, but was great. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate you being part of the Saga Hacker House Hackathon Reactor. It's been really great, and thank you again for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Take care.